What's up, you guys? Hey, I wanted to take a few minutes here today on this episode to talk about the most electric conference I have ever been a part of. Yes, we just finished our Awaken 23 conference and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Could not have gone any better. And I'm also going to jump into a little bit of my health story. So it's going to be a fun episode. I hope you stick around to the end because I want to know what your goals are for 2024 and what you're doing to meet those goals. All that and more happens right after this. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the When Words Don't Come Easy podcast. My name is Andy Howard. I am so excited to be with you today. And yes, today I am flying solo. For those who have been listening to the podcast for a while, you know, the majority of the time I do like to bring on a guest. I just love sharing stories. I love sharing stories of hope, and everybody has a story. And so that's why the majority of the time I will have a guest on. Today I'm flying solo. I just wanted to riff for a few minutes about this amazing weekend we just had. I literally just got back from Awaken 23 here in the Irving, Texas location. There were actually 3 going on this weekend. Our mentors, who are just heroes of ours, started this, and they did theirs this weekend in Arizona. And right up the road in Fort Worth, some other friends of ours also did their Awaken. And so there were 3 going on this weekend, but I got to tell you, it was just an amazing weekend. It was so amazing. And I'm still on an adrenaline high right now because it was so good. It was just so good. So I thought I'd share some stuff with you. You know, going into it, I was wanting to capture some video and capture some backstage stuff with some of our guests. And I got there and was really quite overwhelmed just with everything going on. So I didn't get near as much as I wanted. We did capture some pictures. We had a photographer, so amazing. His name is Jason, and that dude is just so gifted. And he captured the event, and we will have a recap video and things like that. And that will be aired on our on my social media pages. So on Instagram and on Facebook, if you follow me there, you will get to see stuff like that there. But before I go any further, I don't want to. Man, I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to forget this feeling. So I want to be able to try my best. I want to try my best to recap it for you here. I want to try my best to have you to feel the energy that I felt here, and let you maybe know a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff that happened, and even some goals that are going on in my life from when I spoke at Awaken this year. I didn't get to get them out there. They were in the notes, never made it out of my mouth. Totally cool. God knew what I was supposed to say. In fact, every time I speak, I pray that every single word come out of my mouth that's ordained, that's supposed to be spoke. So I'm going to use this platform to do that, because I do have goals. And let's just start there. I turned 44. I turned 44 on Thursday, which was the kickstart to the weekend. We had about 140 of our top leaders at a private event, a dinner, and a celebration for them. And of course, my wife surprised me. It's hard to surprise me because I know it was on my birthday. So I just know her heart. I knew she was going to do something. And even along the way, I heard a voice text from our amazing assistant to Tiff. And so I knew something was coming. But I was still surprised. Even though I knew something was coming. I didn't know what was coming. And she had this like mega cake for me and all my favorite teams. I'm a sports junkie. You guys who have been around for a minute know that. I love sports. I love all the local teams, especially. So the bottom level was the Dallas Cowboys, had the logo, the colors. The next level, I believe, were the Mavs. Could have been the Rangers. I don't know. But vice versa. The next level was the Rangers. And then the top tier was my age, 44. Yes, I am a 44-year-old. And you know what? I have been started for a couple of weeks now. So I didn't even have cake. It was beautiful and it looked great. And I posed next to it, but I didn't have any. And that's all good. And you can have cake. I'm not saying you can't have cake, even on your birthday. You can have cake. But at this time in my life, I'm dialed in, man. I am dialed in and focused on my goals. And so that's what I wanted to share about this weekend is I'm laser focused on my goals in this year of my life. I was even asked, and so those who do follow me on social media, you saw a post, a teammate of mine, Amanda, who is just a rock star. She really is. It helps so much with my social media. She was asking me questions like, what is it you want this year? What is it you're going for? And so that's what sparked the post that came out on March 2nd, my birthday. I want more. I want more. I want to level up in my health. And it's been a journey. It's been a crazy journey, y'all. And so I'm going to share a little bit. At one time in my life, I was 345 pounds. And I chose to have the gastric sleeve procedure. And I am so grateful I did that. Just being honest, I may not be here today if I hadn't done that. I was one of the sickest humans on the planet at that time. So that would have been 12 years ago. 345 pounds. I had everything wrong with me. high blood pressure, high cholesterol. In fact, I was showing some pictures to some friends of mine this weekend at Awaken. There was a time when I didn't have a neck, and I can laugh about it now, and I'm not making fun. Please, if this is where you're at, I feel your pain. I've been there, but I didn't have a neck. Like there was no jawline. It was just all, and it came straight down. It was just thick. It was like my head just stuck on top of this thickness of just, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to be on PC. Absolutely. This thickness of fat, I guess. There's no way around it. I'm just unhealthy. And I had it all, man. I had the Darth Vader mask. You know what I'm talking about. Like you sleep in the sleep apnea. I was sick. And so for me, and at the time, it was the best decision. I wish I had found Optavia way back then. Because what I learned later is I needed brain surgery, not stomach surgery. I needed to fix my mind and how I thought about food and my relationship with food. But at the time, I didn't know about Optavia, and I had tried every diet in the world. And you know what? I want you to know straight up, we're not a diet. We're not a diet company. We're a lifestyle company. And that's the thing that separates us from most companies. But I didn't know about Optavia back then. But what I did know is that I needed help. And I seriously, no hyperbole here. This is straight truth. I didn't know how many more years I had left in me. I was married, beautiful young daughter. At the time, Peyton, didn't have my twins yet. So much I would have missed out on. And I know our days are still numbered. It doesn't mean just because I've gotten healthy now that I have 85 years or anything guaranteed. I know there's no guarantee, but I know I'm going to give my best shot to the Lord to let him know I'm available. My body is going to be in the best shape it can be to use me as long as I can to share my story. So that's what I'm doing. So to go full circle here, My goal now, I've gone from 345, I got down to like 185. I'm 6'3". So I went from I was classified as morbidly obese. I went from morbidly obese to, I don't know if this is my terms. This next word, I was just super lanky dude, SLD. That's what I was, man. Just so skinny. And what happens with that? You lose weight so fast, but it saved my life. I had every sickness in the world. I did. So it did save my life. I believe that with all my heart. But with that, I lost a lot of muscle, man. I lost fat. I lost muscle. I was just skin and bones, man. I got pictures of that as well. I need to get those. Put together and put like a slideshow together so you guys can see that. But I lost so much weight. I was so skinny, and then I stayed there for about 3 or 4 years and started seeing what's next. And I found it was really hard for me because as Peyton was getting older, as she was getting heavier, she has no muscle tone at all. So I have to, like, whoever picks her up has to do all the work. She can't help you. So with that, and that's my daughter, for anyone who might be a brand new listener, she's about to be 15 years old. Isn't that wild? Man, that's going so fast. She's about to be 15 on April 27th. But she is at about 80 pounds right now, but she has zero muscle tone. So that 80 pounds is it's dead weight, man. You have to do it all. You do all the lifting and the controlling. And it was getting harder and harder for me to lift her. And that's embarrassing for me to say. So my number one goal was to be able to lift her. So first goal was I need to be able to lift her now. Second goal was I need to be able to lift her when I turn 60. I need to be able to lift her when I turn 80. Should God let her live that long? And that's our prayer, that she'll be with us for as long as possible. And so I hired so many of you know, I hired a coach to help me, just a trainer, a physical trainer. This dude's a beast of a man. I got him scheduled to be on this Zoom, on this podcast very soon, share his story. His name's David Tatro. Dude has muscles in his earlobes. He's like just this freak of a specimen. I was so scared. I didn't want that guy. I actually looked up a different dude. Online, I saw a picture of, I sure hope this guy's not watching my podcast, just between you and me, of kind of a skinny, nerdy dude, kind of like me, that I was not intimidated by. I was like, I could work out with him. And so when I got up to the gym, this guy that I looked up and called, it's like, hey, David. Hey, you're going to love David. He knows exactly what you need. And David turns around the corner and he's like, comes walking in. He took him both sides of the doors to get through because he was a big man. Just muscles everywhere. I would have never picked him because I was scared to death. But that dude has turned out to be one of my best friends. He's incredible. And he's helped me over the last 4 years. I've grown so much in muscle, put on so much muscle, but it's been a journey. So sometimes I would have my physical side, my workout side on point, and I'm lifting, doing that all good. And my nutrition plan wasn't lined up right. And so I wasn't making progress. And then sometimes I'd have all the nutrition down, but I wouldn't be putting in the workouts. And so it's been a journey. It's been back and forth. But what I wanted to say, I've gone a long way to say this. This year, my goal is to get under 15% body fat and to put on muscle mass. That's my goal. I threw it out there by 45, so I have a whole year to do this. So I'm going to be updating you. And the reason I'm inviting you all on this journey with me is because I need your help. See, for me, if I just keep it to myself, it's a goal. It still is. And I will work on it very hard. But I always have that out. Like when things get hard, like when it's fresh, when everything's brand new and fresh, hey, It's easy, right? Oh yeah, let's work out today. Come on, come on, come on, let's go. We get going. It's easy. But then a couple weeks in, or even a weekend, I heard it spoke about this weekend that the third Friday in January, they call it Quitter's Day. Quitter's Day. They've actually, there's a science behind it that by the third Friday in January, that's when everybody quits their New Year's resolution. So there's even a name for that day. It's Quitter's Day. So what I do is I throw it out to as many people along the way because I can let myself down pretty easy, but I don't like letting others down. And when others are following me and looking to me, it helps me. There's just strength in numbers. And so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be sharing my in-body scans along the way. Yes, I've never done that before. I'm not always proud of them, but I'm going to be sharing them the first of each month, all the way up to my 45th birthday. You heard it here first. So I hope you will come on the journey with me. I hope there's others that maybe this will inspire and we can do this together. I have a really good friend, Michael Lopez. He's been on the podcast. We're both doing this together, man. We're pushing each other. He'll text me, yo, man, I'm doing this workout today. I did this much already yesterday, blah, blah, blah. We're doing this. We push each other. Iron sharpens iron. And hey, if there's others out there, jump on board with me. I got a good friend, Austin Ketchum. Amazing dude. He's a beast of an animal. I call him an animal because he doesn't look human. Just a beast of a specimen, athlete. And I've been bouncing ideas off him. And I finally feel like my nutrition is on point and my workouts are on point. And I'm going to do the consistent work over this year to keep seeing the body fat come down and the muscle mass go up. And it doesn't have to, sometimes we want the huge results in 1 week. And that's where discouragement comes, right? We want to see, we're all or nothing creatures. We want to see the scale drop down 10 pounds in 1 week. We want to see the muscle mass go up 5 pounds in 1 week. And it just doesn't work that way. But what does work is when you see progression. I don't care as long as the line's going up on my muscle mass and the body fat line is coming down, because there's a graph on these charts that I print out on the in-body scans. That's what my goal is. And then you do that times time. You stay consistent, multiply it times time, multiply it by time, and see the results. And so that's the goal. By 45, I want to be able to be under 15% body fat. And I don't know what the muscle mass is. I just want it. I want it going up. It's one of them things I'll know it when I see it, right? So that's what happened. This weekend was electric. That's what I was supposed to share at that part, because I was talking about going all in and being your best. And I got kind of carried away from the business side of it, which is awesome as well. But it's in every facet of my life. I want to be the best. I surround myself by the best. I want to be the best writer, man. I have a hero. I'm a hero. He taught me so much. Taught me so much about how to quit. What? 2011, first book came out called Quitter. And it was actually about quitting your day job and getting closer to your dream job. And I used to put in my earbuds and I would listen to books, listen to, I don't know that there was podcasts way back then, but I would listen to sermons and listen to just different things of self-development, even in work, because I was always the shy guy, always been the introvert. So I didn't always like talking to people. And what I found, even when I didn't have, here's a good trick for you guys out there. Even when I didn't have anything on my phone, I had the earbuds in because people thought I was listening to music and they wouldn't talk to me. So you could give a head nod. How's it going? You know, a head nod, smile, and keep walking and not have to talk to people. It works. Anyways, this guy, this hero of mine taught me how to be a quitter. Next book came out, he taught me how to be a starter. Another book came out, he taught me how to be a finisher. And this weekend, he was talking about soundtracks, how to fix those broken soundtracks in your mind, those thoughts that constantly play. And they will tell you who you are. I mean, if you constantly are negative on yourself, it's a broken soundtrack that you got to get rid of. So it was so cool. I got to meet my hero this weekend. He came, he was our keynote speaker. Got to meet John Acuff. Check this out. For those who are actually watching the podcast, he signed my book. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I got a picture with him as well. I was totally geeking out. But it was a phenomenal weekend. It was so electric. The crowd was electric. The adrenaline was on high. I didn't even need my double shots, man. I didn't need the double shots because I was flowing on adrenaline. And it was just so good. There was, I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 people in person. Another, I don't know how many registered were online. And it was just so electric. And I met so many of you at my table. I signed so many books, took so many pictures. My cheeks were hurting from smiling. And you had so many kind words for me. And so many of you said, hey, we love the podcast. We listen to the podcast. And you know what? You don't know what that means to me. You don't know what that means to me. I told my good friend, Jordan, who's a publisher. He's on my team. He does a lot of creative stuff for me behind the scenes. Just such a good dude. And he's a good friend. I told him, and he helps with the podcast. He helps with all this. I told him it was such a shot in the arm. It was a breath of fresh air, because there are so many times where I'm like, is this even helping? Is anyone even listening? Let me tell you that the enemy, the devil, will always try to lie to you. And those broken soundtracks that are in your head will always lie to you. They will always tell you that, this isn't working, man. No one cares about this. Should you keep going? This whole reason I've done this is about hope. I want to always bring hope to you. I hope that there's something that I can deliver each week helps you go one more week, one more day, one more hour. Because if you don't quit, man, there is hope for you. There's always hope. And so that's what I do. But for some reason, I'm like, am I the only one listening to the podcast? And it's not about numbers for me. It's really not, even if there's just one person I'm helping. But to hear it over and over was so refreshing for me to keep going, because I want to keep helping people as long as people are listening. So it was so awesome. Meeting you this weekend was just so electric. It just enhanced everything that I've been doing, from the book to the podcast. Just honored. I spoke to so many people about getting to come speak at your churches. And I am just, I'm excited. Yeah, if you have a church out there, if you have a business that does like business calls or conferences or even, I don't know, like, what do they call it? They used to call them like assemblies, like school assemblies, youth camps, summer camps, anything on depression, anything on bringing hope, business-minded stuff. I would be honored to come and share my story with you. So reach out to me. You can find that at andyhoward.com, how to catch up with me. Reach out to me on my social media stuff. Message me. If you have my number, text me. You can even call me. What was that? Is that Reba McEntire? Why haven't I heard from you? Oh, man, I'm going way back with this one. Anyways, I don't have a fax, so you can't fax me. I'm trying to think of all the different ways on that song that she used to say that. Anyways, I would love to keep sharing our story with you and with people that you think I can help, because I'm about bringing hope and I'm about loving on people. And I genuinely want to do that. So it's been an honor just sharing a little bit about the weekend. It was just amazing. It couldn't have gone any better. And from a behind the scenes perspective, there were so many challenges along the way. So many challenges that I won't dive into all of them, but for months, up until the final minute, there were challenges, and even challenges in our own personal health that Tiff did. And I may do that at another time. She shared that from the stage this weekend in one of our events or one of our groups. But I don't know. We'll share that another time. But got a good, clean report on that. And just so many challenges, so many distractions. Even on our Thursday night IND and above dinner, which was for a special group of people, there was a tornado that came through. Yeah, tornado, no biggie. And it was very close. The sirens were going off and they told us we had to take shelter. And it was just a scary few moments there and just distractions. But you know what? We made it. We made it through the event. And I think there was so many distractions. You've always heard the phrase, the darkest night comes before dawn. So many times when we're facing these trials, struggles, these attacks, we know that our best is right around the corner. And so even up until the last minute, we were facing challenges, but this weekend was phenomenal. If you ever have a chance to come to an Awaken, like if you can come to Awaken 24, I want you there. I want you to start planning on being there now. We don't have a date for it yet. It'll be coming soon, I'm sure. But start making plans to be there. It was phenomenal. So anyways, I hope this has been helpful for you. What's your goals? I would love to hear from you so that I can help you. What do you want to do in the next year? A lot can happen in a year. A lot of changes can happen in a year. But we do that one day at a time. One day at a time. Don't worry about 2024 just yet. Let's worry about Monday. Then let's worry about next week. Then let's worry about next month. One day at a time. So anyways, I love you guys. It's always good to catch up with you. Had such a blast catching up with about 1,200 of my closest friends. And I always say that, but I mean it. Every person I meet are my favorite. They're my favorite. And I get in trouble because I say that all the time. Oh, you're my favorite. But I mean it. I love all of them. It's like having kids. It's hard to distinguish which one you love better because you just love them differently but the same. Isn't that weird? Does that make sense? You love them differently but the same. Anyways, I love you guys and wanted to thank you for just letting me roar about Awaken, man. It was awesome. Love you. Catch up with you soon. God bless everybody.